Caitlin Clark reminded everybody who she is in the Fever win over the Wings in what was a blowout victory. One where Clark didn't even shoot the ball well again, but she completely dominated the game and shows the difference between her and everyone else through her playmaking.
And quickly then you can say playoff contention. The Indiana Fever have transformed from basketball's favorite joke to the league's most intriguing plot. Our favorite corn-fed phenomenon, Caitlin Clark, is at the center of this transformative storm. After being handled like the team's awkward +1 for months, she has finally been unleashed like a basketball kraken.
Caitlin Clark said, folks, forget what she's talking about. Today, I'm gonna run the show. Today, I'm going to control the pace. Today, I'm going to dictate how this team plays basketball. And in the first half, we saw exactly that. Natasha Howard running the floor. Yeah, you heard that correct. Natasha Howard running the floor. Yeah, I shit you. Folks, fans have a voice. Sometimes when the noise gets too loud and they're tired of hearing from it, they say, let's just buy in a little bit. Let's let Caitlin Clark be Caitlin Clark. Let's not pull the reins back too much. And in that first half, we saw exactly that.
Shall we go back to a few weeks ago? After someone brought up politics, there was more tension in the Fever locker room than at a family Thanksgiving meal. During a power outage, the atmosphere was colder than Antarctica. The chemistry would have failed the high school science course since it was so non-existent. However, they're suddenly moving like a malfunctioning machine. If NASA engineers with a side gig and basketball prowess created that machine,
that's what we're talking about when we are referring to Caitlin Clark running the show. Caitlin Clark running the offense, being the innovator of offense, the distributor of offense for the Indiana Fever. This is exactly what we mean right here. This game was an absolute blowout. Dallas Wings didn't know what hit them. Everybody ate.
The pivotal moment when Dana Bonner packed her belongings and brought her me first philosophy with her. When Bonner walked into the locker room as if she were the Coachella main act, she found out she was actually scheduled for an open mic night at a closed coffee shop. She attempted to be the focal point of a puzzle where Caitlin Clark's name was already inscribed. It was like witnessing someone attempt to substitute a selfie for the Mona Lisa and hoping the Louvre would accept it.
So, Indiana Fever just released her, cut their losses, right? And I hear these analysts saying stuff like, they should have held out for a trade, or I wish they had got a trade for her. She was literally untradeable. Right? Like, what team would give up any of their core players for a player that's past their twilight? They picked up R.A. McDonald, or re-signed R.A. McDonald, who we all saw was a spark plug just a couple weeks ago. She's an upgrade compared to Dwana Bonner.
There was more to Bonner's exit than merely a shift in staff. An exorcism took place. OU could almost hear the collective sigh of relief as soon as she unpacked her locker. It was so loud that it registered on weather radars as an unusual breeze.
Because we've seen a huge change. We've seen a huge change from the Indiana Fever over the last 6 quarters. And especially in the fourth quarter, in the Dallas Wings game. And there were 2 players in particular that I have said that their style of play, regardless of how they're playing, is not going to work long term. And those 2 players had unbelievable games.
Hey, please subscribe if you're having fun. Fever lost dead weight that was keeping them at the bottom of the standings, not just one guy. It was like taking out a splinter that had been festering for months. It was addition by subtraction. The crew was able to breathe once again without breathing in the suffocating fumes of entitlement and ego. What then took place? The sky became clear. The birds began to sing. The Indiana Fever also recalled that they were permitted to play basketball and seemed to enjoy it. The team's energy changed more quickly than a TikTok trend in the absence of Bonner's negative gravitational pull. Players who appeared were immediately giving each other high fives, bumping their chests, and playing with the kind of joy that makes basketball fans remember why they initially fell in love with the sport while attending a funeral.
This team is like a sorority group. I'm not joking. They are so closely bonded, like the energy that all of them have with each other. There is not like where you see and someone looks a little disconnected. This is literally the most tight-knit team. I'm telling you, I actually think all the discourse or the people trying to create discourse offline or outside the locker room only makes them tighter. And throughout the training session, I saw multiple times where, they were like laughing and mucking around and just completely like high-fiving and actually speaking of
the human counterpart of a triple espresso shot in basketball is Sophie Cunningham. Cunningham grabbed the squad by their collective jerseys and essentially yelled, "We're not done yet," in their faces when everyone was occupied with penning eulogies for the Fever season. With the subtlety of a fireworks display in a library, she blasted herself into leadership orbit rather than simply stepping up. Cunningham developed into a blonde cyclone of passion, serving as the team's unofficial hype woman, defensive drill sergeant, and locker room therapist. She wasn't providing matches when the squad needed a boost. She was tossing motivational Molotov cocktails. With the feverish energy of someone attempting to convey the plot of Inception in 30 seconds, Cunningham was sketching plays in the air during timeouts while other players were collecting their breath.
Play was probably the standout play in the game. In my mind, Clark with the big-time rejection near the rim. And then the get-ahead pass to Sophie Cunningham, touchdown. And Sophie Cunningham has come into her own as of late. But it's just beautiful. Get it out, get it up, bucket. And, that's just something others cannot.
Her most significant contribution was seeing that Caitlin Clark's integration into the system was required. It was crucial. Cunningham considered Clark as the skeleton key that could open the possibilities of the Fever, but others saw her as a rival. By conveying Clark's basketball prowess to teammates who had been too preoccupied defending their turf to realize they were sitting on a gold mine, she served as a bridge between the old guard and the new phenomenon. When Clark made an improbable throw through the defense during practice, Cunningham would be the first to celebrate. She would yell, "That's what I'm talking about," ensuring that everyone knew this wasn't simply excellent basketball. This basketball was evolutionary. She transformed admiration for Clark's game into a team-wide movement, winning over doubters more quickly than a cult leader offering a complimentary snack.
All right, everyone who said that the Fever played better without Caitlin Clark, come to the front because I'm going to slap you in the face. Fever just won 102-89 against the Dallas Wings. Congratulations to Fever. They killed it with their old and trusty playbook of just rim running. And Dallas Wings, Chris Coklanis, have you never seen a Fever game before? They're fast in transition, huge with the long bombs. Caitlin Clark is there. Run to the other side quickly. That's where they got the majority of their points. Poor Paige Beckers, you're such a huge talent, and you're just drowning with this terrible coaching. It breaks my heart, but it was an incredible game until the last quarter when it was very clear that the Fever would take.
Caitlin Clark was going through her own transformation in the meantime. After being treated like a visitor in her own locker room for months, Clark eventually returned her throne, not by demanding it, but by winning it by a mix of skill, perseverance, and the kind of work ethic that makes Olympic competitors seem like weekend warriors. The Clark of today is more than just a basketball player. Every pass is a note in her symphony, and every 3 mornings is a crescendo. She is no longer the novice attempting to make a name for herself. She is the focal point who elevates everyone around her. Viewing old Heat games from earlier in the season seems like viewing footage because the shift has been so complete from another planet in which a constitutional amendment outlawed joy and basketball brilliance.
Caitlin Clark now has the 5th most double-doubles with points and assists in WNBA. The 5th most double-doubles with points and assists in WNBA. And we're only in year 2? And we've missed half the season so far? Oh no. Oh, that record's going to be broken any day now.
Screaming and controlling are not hallmarks of Clark's leadership style. Elevation is the key. She doesn't ask to be the center of attention. For everyone else, she installs more illumination. Not only are her passes accurate, they arrive at teammates' hands before they are even aware that they have been opened. While the defense is still assembling the checkerboard, she is playing chess. 3 steps forward and faster. The team is presently orbiting Clark because gravity naturally draws objects toward the most enormous presence, not because they have been told to. Without a doubt, Clark's basketball skills and intelligence produce their own gravitational field. Co-workers who initially appeared reluctant to give her the ball now pursues her as if she were the last bottle of water in a desert. When Clark asks for the ball during a crucial moment, you can see 5 heads nod in sync before the pass is even made because the trust is so strong.
Even with their actual coaches and their training staff, like I've got some awesome videos of Keith training, like KK training Dantas, and you will see that they're laughing and they're having a good time. And I just think that is like the energy that you want, right? You want to create a locker room where it feels like family and you have each other's back no matter what, and noise gets loud and noise gets disruptive, but as long as you can stay together closely knit, then you can drown that out. I genuinely feel that.
It's more than just a team going hot at the appropriate moment. It is a whole metamorphosis of identity. From that squad with Caitlin Clark to that team with Caitlin Clark, the fever has spread. There is more to the capitalization than just emphasis. The goal is to faithfully depict the profound change in their perception. They have evolved from a sideshow to the main event, from a curiosity to a competitor. Making it to the postseason is not the only goal of their playoff campaign. It's about letting the basketball community know that the revolution has come sooner than expected. The Fever concluded that waiting is overrated and that the future is now, even though analysts were projecting them for contention in a few years.
Yes, the shooting's not there yet, but that will come. But being a playmaker is more than just scoring the ball, and dropping 13 dimes and getting 5 steals is amazing work. I mean, look at this dime, full court pass. This is incredibly hard. If you haven't ever played basketball, this pass to Cunningham is so hard. And she was doing this all game. Here's another one in the 4th quarter to Kelsey Mitchell for an easy layup. With CC back in the lineup, this Fever team is starting to click, and they are becoming a force. They have 2 key games before the All-Star game, and I think if they can win both of those, this team's going to be right in there for the second half of this.
People who recently learned that their Netflix free trial expires tomorrow and still have 3 seasons to consume are being played with. A portion of a story is revealed by the numbers. More assists, reduced turnovers, improved defensive rotations, and higher shooting percentages. However, they fail to see the intangible change. The Fever now play with an indescribable swagger. They enter arenas as though they are the building's owners and have paid off their mortgage. Element of intimidation has reversed. Fever Games opponents, who before saw them as simple victories, now approach them with the care with which a bomb is disarmed. The best aspect is that everyone is making a contribution. The Indiana Fever is not the backup band for Caitlin Clark's show. Every member of the ensemble cast has a chance to shine. With the effectiveness of a German-trained schedule, Kelsey Mitchell is scoring. Nalissa Smith is bouncing back as if the ball had directly offended her family. The rim is being guarded by Aaliyah Boston as if it held national secrets. Additionally, Lexi Hull is making threes with the carefree assurance of someone who has no idea what pressure feels like.
Clark, after the game, was talking about how so many different players were in double figures. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell, another awesome game. 8 of 12 from the floor, 20 points. Natasha Howard, 18 points, 8 of 9 from the floor. I was critical of Natasha Howard in the last game. Got to give it up when it's due. If she can come into her own with Clark on the floor, that's a whole different ball game. Aaliyah Boston, 17 points. No, Clark was the 4th leading scorer with 14 points. Sophie Cunningham had 13 points off the bench. 102 points scored for the Fever.
Let's be honest. A few weeks ago, people would have given you a wellness check if you had mentioned Fever and championship in the same sentence. Murmurs have begun now. Could this group of misfits and castoffs, led by a rookie sensation, truly contend for the championship? Will Caitlin Clark's first victory come from being an overachiever who arrives at a job interview an hour early? The odds are still high. There are still many challenges. However, Indianapolis is experiencing something extraordinary, something that goes beyond logical prediction and statistical analysis. The confidence of card counters and house money are being manipulated by the Fever. They are the basketball counterpart of the line that appears in every heist film. This is so crazy, it just might work. Caitlin Clark, with that Midwestern smile that somehow seems to be both menacing and meek, is at the center of it all. She is changing the course of an entire league, not just a franchise. Clark is busy adding more lighting for everyone while other players continue to argue over who should be in the limelight.
All right, guys, this game got real crazy. But let me tell you, 64 points by the Fever, and it's all because of that lady right there walking off the court, Caitlin Clark. Look, now you got 3 players in double figures. You got Howard, you got Mitchell, but you got her assists. She got her assists, man. She should have had 10 assists already, bro. Dantes fumbling the bag, Kelsey Mitchell eating and wide open layup. Bro, you messing up her stats. But anyway, but she got 10 points, yo. That's pretty good in the first half. Plus a whole bunch of assists. She got 7 assists.
So, basketball aficionados, fasten your seatbelts. The redemption arc of the Fever is more than just a heartwarming tale. It serves as a warning to the WNBA establishment. It's an obvious message. The future is not on the horizon. It's here already, throwing no-look passes and donning the number 22 defy the laws of physics. The Indiana Fever are doing more than just winning games. They are redefining what is achievable when talent and opportunity come together and quality overrides ego. That 2-game winning streak is only the beginning. It looks like a feast, and the main course is being prepared, that the basketball community will remember for a long time. There is more to the Fever than just heat. They are flammable. Whether the rest of the league has enough fire extinguishers to deal with what's coming is the only question left, because Caitlin Clark has discovered her kingdom in the WNBA, not just her voice. And it appears that her rule is only getting started. May the rest of the league get ready appropriately, and long live the Queen. The Fever has subsided, and more than just a basketball squad is emerging from the other side.